Finally, it is here, one of 2017's biggest flagship phones, the Galaxy S8. Hey, what's good guys, this is Arman here, back with another video, and today I'm gonna present my first impressions on the Galaxy S8 and even compare some aspects of it to the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus and iPhones in general. So let's get started. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the design. The design is absolutely beautiful, it's fantastic. You remember when Apple came up with the first iPhone and then they claimed that it had the best display, the biggest display ever, when touch technology was just at its infancy.
Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen.
Well, in 2017, Samsung has re-innovated and just again rediscovered what a touchscreen can be. Alright, so speaking of display, now both the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus both have the same screen resolution, which is 2960 by 1440. Now both the screens actually have a very odd aspect ratio, which is 18.5 by 9, but hey, you're getting a big display, so why not? So the Galaxy S8 is having a pretty impressive 5.8 inch display and the S8 Plus is having a whopping 6.2 inch display. And even more, the bigger displays have been accommodated in a smaller size factor. The S8 Plus, which is having a 6.2 inch display, is still smaller than the iPhone 7 Plus, which is awesome. Alright, so you got that big nice display, but what about the home button and the fingerprint scanner? Well, first of all, the fingerprint scanner has gone at the back of the phone besides the camera. Alright, so because of that huge display, the home button has been actually tucked underneath it. So if you force click the center button of the Galaxy S8, it should actually give you a haptic feedback. Now let's talk about the security features that Samsung offers. So the Samsung Galaxy S8 has 3 security measures. First is the fingerprint scanner, second the iris scanner, third is the facial recognition. So I cannot actually tell you how accurate they can be because I have not used them personally, but they seem to be pretty good. That's my first impression on that. So one complaint that I have regarding the fingerprint scanner is that the location of it. It's just besides the camera, which kind of actually allows the camera to be smudged by your fingerprints because you sort of have to guess which one is the camera and which one is the fingerprint scanner. So what are my first impressions regarding the physical overview of the phone? The phone looks absolutely something from the future. I personally am an iPhone user and it really makes me feel that iPhones look so old. iPhones have those thick bezels at top and bottom, even the sides, and the Galaxy S8 just conquers that. The screen has literally no edge at the right and the left of the screen. It literally just floods out from the curve of the display. Top and bottom bezels are really negligible. They are not noticeable at all. So what I think, the physical overview of the phone is much better than the iPhone. But again, the iPhone 7 is a generation behind the Samsung S8. So let's wait for the iPhone 8 for that one. Now let's talk about the things that the S8 has underneath its shell. Little disclaimer, it's not really great. So the Galaxy S8 is rocking the Snapdragon 835 chip, and fun fact, the iPhone 7 has the A10 processor, which is one generation behind again, but still outdoes the Snapdragon 835. After that, the Galaxy S8 has 4 gigs of RAM compared to the iPhone 7 Plus, which has 3 gigs of RAM. Well, it is considered that Android needs more RAM generally than iOS, so it kind of evens out. So at the back we'll find our camera. The camera is, I think, a disappointment. They did not degrade it, but they didn't even upgrade it. They stuck the same camera from the S7 to the S8. It's the same 12 megapixel camera with the same sensor. Well, I think that the camera is still okay, but considering the iPhone camera and the S8's camera, Both are the flagship in the sense the best cameras that you can find in the market in the smartphone business. So I did at least consider that they would upgrade it, but they did not. So if we quickly compare the cameras of the two phones, we'll actually find that the 7 Plus has a dual lens setup in its camera setup, which means that you can have optical zoom, whereas this S8 still doesn't have that, although both have optical image stabilization still. Furthermore, if we look at the selfie cameras of both the phones, we'll actually find that the S8's camera has 8 megapixel sensor, whereas the iPhone 7 has a 7 megapixel sensor. Also, the S8's selfie camera has autofocus, which Apple has still not incorporated in its phone. So if we talk about the batteries, well, the S8 Plus has a 3500 mAh battery and the S8 has 3000 mAh battery. On comparing to the iPhone 7 Plus, it has a 2900 mAh battery. Well, on paper the numbers are low from the iPhone 7 Plus side, but we know that the A10 is a very efficient processor which results in long-lasting battery life. The same cannot be said for S8 because I have not gone into any hands-on reviews or have it myself. So the next thing is a very peculiar feature of the Galaxy S8, that is Bixby. Consider it like this: Google Assistant, Siri, and now Bixby. Bixby has its own dedicated button, which I think is very extreme, but hey, it's Samsung, it's their choice whatsoever. Well, the main peculiarity is that the S8s actually run Android Nougat, which means they still have Google Assistant. So this is where it gets weird. The same Galaxy S8 has Bixby and Google Assistant, which is kind of weird. So what are my first impressions? Well, the S8 is really good from the outside. The design is really good, build quality, screen, everything is fantastic. Internals are okay, they are up to date but not ahead of its generation, just like we see with other phones. The incorporation with the same camera as the last year kind of disappoints me. Snapdragon 835 is okay, 4 gigs of RAM okay. There's not much of innovation in the phone, it's just the display, nothing else. Iris scanner, facial scanner, all okay, but performance, there is not that much of increase. That's what I think. Maybe this is a phone that I will like over time instead of just liking it at once. That was my first impression on the Galaxy S8. Let me know in the comment section down below, and make sure to go Galaxy S8 on that like button and that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.